Thank you for being here, Secretary Kiss.
I have a feeling I'm going to regret being here in a few moments, but go ahead.
You may very well. One of the things that Senator Walters is back here talking about, and it was what was on the call and what wasn't. Well, you know, I recognize that what's on this call is cigarette tax. It did not pass. It's on the call. The cell phone taxes. It's on the call. The other tax that's out here, 1%, on the call. Now, I'm a little bit puzzled by that, and when I look at this paperwork here that's in front of us, and I've been frustrated myself, and I'm not an expert. By all means, I respect you very much so. I think you're one of the smartest people in this state government when it comes to understanding the finances, what takes place. So make no mistake, I'm outgunned right now when I have a conversation with you. And I understand that. But I also am frustrated with, we know how limited calls come from the governor. It's happened for at least my time of being here. And what it does is it ties the hands of, no matter whether you're in the majority or the minority, or which chamber you're in, of being capable of being creative and being able to look out for the taxpayers of West Virginia. All taxpayers and the businesses. And this is one of the problems that we've got. We are suffering right now because of the energy industry in this state because of the decline, but we've hemorrhaged manufacturing jobs over the last 2, 3, and 4 decades, and we've done some things to be able to turn it around via tax increases, a lot of it with your help. So here we are today, and it's killing me from the standpoint that we're boxing ourselves in on general revenue, and we've got special revenue accounts out here that are all over the place that we know kingdoms are built that need to be addressed, that where we could come in and look out for the taxpayers without putting an increase. And I'm telling you, it's really hard for every member of this chamber, no matter which party you're in, to go and ask for a tax increase right now when you yourself, and we all see it, that the revenues are down in the first quarter because of the severance tax. In the second quarter, it's sales tax and income tax, those revenues are down. To me, it tells me that the well's dry. And if we can't cut government right now and make it so it's more cost effective for the people of West Virginia so that we can bring those manufacturing jobs that you and I both want, and I think everybody else in this chamber, then when can we do it? And this is where the governor, and please take his back to him because he's not sitting in here, he needs to be able to give us the flexibility to be able to get this job done for the people of West Virginia and to get them all back to work. Sorry, I don't know where the question was, but I feel better.
Well, I understand the gentleman's passion. I admired and respected you when I served here, and I still do. Having said that, I will make an effort. It may not appease you and try to respond to some of the points. And again, they're going to sound like criticisms, but they're not. The process is an evolving, ongoing one. I've never heard the governor indicate that he is adverse to considering any revenue measures, if these that before or now are non-starters. Now, I understand your point is that we don't want revenue measures. Also, I point to my earlier comments, which again, we can provide the detail as much as you want. This governor has cut this budget by $300 or $400 million over the last several years. So I don't think it's fair to anyone to, I'm not suggesting you're doing this, but anyone to characterize that he doesn't have the willingness or the desire to do that. He also is not adverse to doing that as part of a solution. Part of the problem, again, I keep getting back to, I think where the miscommunication is, the governor believes that this problem cannot be solved by cutting our way out of it. It's going to require a combined approach. I've heard many of you say that, but also, again, not necessarily as a criticism, the plans we've seen that present that combined approach, for some of the reasons I've expressed today, we don't believe solve the problem. And that's the concern. But if there's other revenue measures that we should be looking at besides these, I've never heard the governor say no. I've never heard the governor say no to any particular cuts. As a matter of fact, to get to your earlier point, I remember, and I know that some of you that are in the leadership now were not here then, the governor proposed, and I got my rear end burned trying to get it passed, legislation 2 or 3 years ago that would have allowed you to the gentleman from Kanawha's point, the dog purses, would have allowed you as a legislature to appropriate every penny of that money, the horse money, the dog money, the city money, the county money, all of that money. The governor made a proposal to you to pass, to drop that money down, is the terminology we use, so that the legislature could decide how to appropriate and use it. The governor proposed that bill. It didn't pass. Well, that's what a regular session for is, though. I mean, the other point, too, I hear what you're saying, and I have no problem if you want to take this up further with the governor. I believe, sir, he will talk to you. But my point is this, is if you, during the regular session, did start to work, both of you did start to work on a bill similar to what the governor tried 2 years ago, and those bills did not pass.
Keep in mind that we're talking about today and the call that is before us. I would recommend that we go to the governor, and I'm calling out to the governor right now, to open this up. Open this call up and give us greater flexibility to do our job. I've never once voted for a tax increase in here, in this chamber or the other one down there, and I'm willing to do it to be able to work with it, because I do agree that we are in a tough situation right now, and there's going to have to be a revenue measure of some sort. And I'm willing to bite the bullet and do that, but I'm telling you, the well's dry out there, and we've got to be careful. It's like selling theater tickets, and are you going to get more people in by at $5 a ticket and then going to $10 a ticket, but you get less people into the theater? You know where I'm going with that analogy, and we've got to be so careful with that. And we see plenty of ways to, most of us do out here in government. We've got to be able to gain the trust back of the taxpayer before they're willing to come to us and say, hey, we're okay with that 1% sales tax because we know we have no alternatives.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sure that I'm adequately responding to your question. I really am trying to, but to my knowledge and my involvement with this, the governor has never said the use of rainy day money is out of the question. He's expressed concerns about how much and how we use it. He has used, as I said, we all know $100 million in rainy day. He's never said he's not willing to look at other revenue measures. He's never said he's not willing to cut further. The issue is coming to a consensus to do that collectively. And to some extent, if you all feel that you've been taken and brought in here by some one-upsmanship, I assure you that's not it. The fact is that we haven't got a lot of time left, because the ramifications we're all struggling with now will look like child's play come June 30th if we don't have a budget.
That's my argument.
And that's why he's brought you here knowing there's not an agreement. The normal course, as you know, because you've been here a number of years, is you generally don't call a special session unless you have pretty uniform agreement. But he felt in this situation, he can't wait much longer. We need to engage the constitutional gears. Now, if that means there's things that you think need to be on this call, I find it very hard to believe that he may not agree on what they are, but I find it very hard to believe he will not change this call if there's consensus on certain items.
That's music to my ears, and I agree with what you just got on.
But again, and back to my earlier comment, I'm not trying to play games here, a comprehensive solution. He's not going to pick and choose little things that at the end of the day don't get us across the yard line.
Thank you, Bob.